Hurricanes, wildfires, and freak storms happen more every year. In the last 20 years, 83% of the blackouts in the USA were weather-related, and that's getting worse. Outages in the past 10 years increased by 64% compared to the previous decade. When Hurricane Sandy hit on the East Coast, 21 states experienced widespread blackouts. As a nation, we just aren't adequately prepared for power outages. We're so dependent on our electrical supply that when it suddenly fails, we panic. People forget how to function until the lights come back on. Every day, the aging grid is more vulnerable to weather, spikes in demand, or even a man-made attack. Imagine a blackout lasting not for days, but weeks or months. Your life would be frozen in time right at the moment that power fails. Every appliance you rely on would be dead. The food in your fridge, spoiled. You couldn't pump fresh water in your house. Total grid failure means no water to drink, no to cook or clean with. Stoplights would stop working, public drinking water facilities too, and gas stations couldn't pump gas. It's not some crazy doomsday theory, it's a real threat. So today, I'm going to show you a product that could make your life a whole lot easier for you and your family. Let's check it out. All right, folks, welcome back. Now, the intro there wasn't designed to scare you. It was designed to show you that no matter what your situation, you really should be looking at some kind of backup power system. This particular one has a whole ton of power in it and can make your life a whole lot easier, but there's plenty of other ways to do it. So I don't want to scare people off with something that's a little more expensive or something that's a whole lot bigger. That said, this particular system here is a whole lot cheaper than most 3,000 watt power stations. This is basically handmade. He makes these. The gentleman that runs this company makes these himself. And I have received some complaints from people that they'll make an order and it'll take like 3 or 4 weeks for him to get back to you on the phone. I'm on an email, not on the phone, or to send you your order. That's particularly because he's just a one-man operation out there. He's making these himself. So I don't want people to think that they're getting ripped off when they order one. Everybody that's ordered one, I've never gotten a message that said, hey, I ordered it and never got it. He just takes a while to build these, and these are custom built. You can specify how you want these built. With that said, let's take a look at this Licitti CyberBox 3000. It is a new generation portable power station. It's got a 40 amp DC to DC MPPT solar charger, 3,000 watt pure sine wave inverter, a bunch of DC outlets, 50 amp Anderson ports, 175 amp Anderson ports, a 12 volt DC sockets, actually 3 of them there, and PD angle socket and a merit socket as well. This can be expanded. It can easily expand its capacity via 175 amp Anderson port. Nice high strength stainless steel case. This is a very heavy unit. I was almost tempted to show you guys me lifting it on here. And, I'm not a lightweight. I can lift stuff, but this is pretty heavy and it's kind of bulky, and it's awkward. You pick it up from the bottom here. So it's a heavy unit. So this is something you're probably going to want to put down somewhere and just leave it where it is. Now, this does have a modular inverter design. The 3,000 watt inverter has a surge of 6,000 watts. The battery inside is 2,560 watt hours. It's got expanded capacity. You can bump that up. The LifePro 4 battery has a 2,000 plus life expectancy. So you can charge this up to 2,000 times and still get 80% of your charge. That's pretty darn good. If you look at that, if you charge this every single day, divide 365 into 2,000, that's pretty darn good. And that's charging it from completely dead. Now, this does have a Bluetooth app, and I'm going to show you that. It's the same Licitti Bluetooth app. Basically, you're going to turn this unit on by clicking the main switch on, like that. And you'll see the screen pop open there. And interestingly enough, I ran some heavy-duty stuff on this just to see if it would hold it. And it went to 199 amp hours, and now it's just sitting here. It's back to 2,200 amp hours. So you have 100% time remaining on it. The draw on this is 0.15 amps when it's running. Battery voltage, 13.2 volts, and it's drawing 1 watt just from this. Now, these do light up. These are your little USB and PD connection things here. There's 3 of them. You can turn them off if you want. That's something I really like. You don't need to keep those on. You do have the 12 volt regulated lighter sockets, 3 of them here, and you have 3 plugs here, and they are protected so they won't get wet in a light bit of rain. I mean, this isn't something you dunk in the water, but in a light bit of rain, it would be okay. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you the Wi-Fi app, the Bluetooth app, I'm sorry, and then we're going to go into the configuration, and I'll show you how you can set this up for your own personal system. All right, I don't know if you can see it, and of course it just turned off when I started the video, but up in that corner there is a little Bluetooth symbol, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to start your Licitti app, and it will tell you to select your device. And it's loading up now. There you go. Now you can see it's showing 199 amp hours and 99%. I just ran some high draw stuff on it, and this is all your information here, all through there. Anytime you want to refresh it, this is your history, okay? There's my discharge current of 104 amps when I was testing stuff out. And time remaining since last charge, all your information. You have your settings here. Now, you can do your settings here. We're going to synchronize this to the device. It just synchronized, okay? So now we have all our settings here for the alarm, the voltage, minimum voltage, max voltage, all that stuff there, okay? And I hate that it whites out on the screen, but I'm trying to show it to you real quick. But if you want to, you can do all that work from here by pressing that button. Let me move you in a little closer and show you how that works. All right, you moved in here. So you want to do that? You can set all of your max voltage, minimum voltage, full volume, full voltage, capacity, alarm, when it turns off to less 10 amp hours, and LCD on time. I'm going to bump that LCD on time to like 4 minutes, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So what you want to do basically is hit that. Now you see that red flashing light? You're going to just move over all the way through all the settings. And we're just going to work our way through all the settings. Some people will be like, well, that's a pain in the neck, but I find this actually very, very easy to mess with. Okay, now we're where we want to be. See the red blinking? 2, 3, 4. There you go. It's done. That's simple. So you can change any of this stuff here. If you wanted an alarm on, say, a little bit of a minimum voltage or alarm on amp hours, you can change all that. If eventually you put a bigger capacity battery here, you can get a 300 amp hour battery. You can change that here too. Very, very simple to use, very easy to get out of. You just push back and you're back on your screen right there. So what I want to do now is test the sine wave on these and make sure these are pure sine wave inverters outlets. So let me back up and show you how that works. All right, so these little covers actually make this a little bit easier. You can see we're getting a nice pure sine wave out of there, nice and even. For those of you who are kind of new to this stuff, the reason you want to see a nice smooth line like that and not ridges like that is because it's better for your sensitive electronics. It's a little less hard on your sensitive electronics, and it's the same output that you're getting from a wall socket as opposed to a modified sine wave, which won't give you as clean of a power. To turn these on, by the way, I didn't mention this. You see this little button over here? You're just going to turn that on and off. So let's pop them back on. It'll beep. You'll see the amps jump up to like 0.25 amps, running them with absolutely nothing on them. And that's that simple. So let's try this out with some high drain devices. I do have a little hot plate and a heat gun, and I'm going to show you how well this thing works with all that stuff going. I've already tested the USB stuff. I know that all works perfectly, but I definitely want to show you what it looks like when it's drawing some serious power, and let you listen to the fans and see how loud they are. All right, so right now I have the little Proctor Silex burner over here. That'll draw anywhere from 1,200 to 1,500 watts. I have this guy. We're going to try it on low first. And I also plugged in the little USB light for you guys to see too, just so you can see that it still works while everything's going. I'm going to turn this on first, okay? Now at first you're going to see, let's get that on there. You're going to see that this is drawing a little bit of power just because it's on. I haven't turned it on yet, but the light is on. So we're going to turn this on. And you can hear the fan starting, okay? I'm showing 1,392 watts for that. Let's turn it all the way up, okay? Now I have to look on here because I want to see low. We're going to go with the heat gun on the low. 1834. I'll move you up and zoom you in a little bit so you can see the draw. Okay? Now we're going to turn this on high. We're at 19. We're going to turn this to high. Okay? Now we're at 2468. Okay, you got about an hour remaining of time if you're running both these incredibly high drain devices at the same time on this power station. So that's pretty darn impressive. 2415, 12.3 volts that we're at now, 196 amps. And I got the top little light going too, so you can see it doesn't even affect that at all. All right, so Let me drain this a little bit more for you, and then I want to turn this off too and show you just how loud the fans are. Now the fans are really not all that loud. I'm going to stop talking here for a second. I know, right? We're going to put this up by the fans. It's a little sound meter. I'm going to put it up by the fans and show you how loud it is. I hit hold. We're getting about a 64 dB. Really not bad. Very not loud at all. You can probably hear them on the thing, but they're really not loud at all. So what I'm going to do is drain it up a little bit more and bring you back, and I'll show you my charging system. Now, I do have a 100-watt panel. I'm going to turn this off because it's hot today and I don't feel like being hot. I do have a 100-watt panel outside. It is an EcoFlow rigid panel. I'm going to plug it in and see how we do. It's not in optimum sunlight at all. I think on my power station right now that I have it plugged into, let me see what I'm drawing. I can't tell because it's full. I have a little EcoFlow over there that I have it plugged into now that tops it off. It is not in optimal sunlight, but we'll see how well it does. And if it really does horrible, we'll stick another one outside just to test it. But I just want to show you it charging it back up. So we're at 98%, 196 amp hours left. This is going to be off here, all the way off. And I'll bring you back once it's drained a little bit more, and we can go from there. So while I'm draining the system, I did want to bring you out here and quickly show you that 100-watt panel. It is on a little mount there. And we are eventually going to be putting more panels out here and organizing this. This is just a temporary solution, but I did want to show you what we're going to be using to charge it up with. So let's get back inside and try it out. So before we start solar charging, by the way, I did move that panel a little bit further over, so it's in direct sunlight now. It should be a whole lot better. I wanted to show you some of the accessories this comes with. This is for your 175 amp Anderson plug. That's a big Anderson Powerball. Car charger, of course, battery charger. You do have a solar cable here pre-made for you. So this yellow one will fit right into the solar plug, and you have your MC4 connectors on the end, okay? You have some extra connectors here, extra Andersons if you need them for whatever you're going to be creating. You do have plugs for the Andersons on the side because that is a whole lot of voltage. So if you want to kind of plug these up, you can. They're located on the side here. We'll show you that in a sec. And of course, this monstrous charger here. Let me show you this guy. This is your battery charger. So you plug this in on this end. You plug this into your input-output for your 50 amp Anderson connector right on the side, and this will charge it up. Really simple. It's a LiFePO 4 charger. The light will come on this side. The light will come on red while it's charging and then turn green when it's all done. So it's very, very simple to use. I found this to be very, very effective. Worked great. No issues with it at all. So what I'm going to do is, of course, I'm going to take this solar connector. We're going to run it over to the other side there where my panels come in from under my garage. And we're going to see how much power we're getting in on that 100-watt panel and let this charge up for a bit. All right, we literally are full already. I just plugged that in. That's crazy, but I'm going to give it a little bit more time. We're getting in 61 watts, 4.67 amps. That's not bad for a compromised solar panel out there that's kind of sitting on its side. It's not in direct sunlight, but it's out there pretty good, and I did move it around a little bit. So this will be topped off. I mean, it's already showing 100%, but this does charge up very, very quickly. It's really kind of shocking. I'm going to move it on its side here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's charging up with the LiFePO 4 battery charger, although I think it's already pretty much done. But that's pretty darn impressive. So we're going to get the voltage up a little bit and let it go. I wanted to give you a look on the side here. This is coming out from the outside of my solar panel. That's your big 175 amp Anderson. These are your 50 input outputs. This is, what is this one for? All vehicle charging input, AC vehicle charging input. So you can charge this via a vehicle, and it does have a connector for that. I forgot to show you that in the accessories. And of course your solar input here, which we're still showing 60 watts at 4.62 amps. So pretty darn impressive. I really do like the setup of this. And I like this even better because I don't have to put battery in it. It's just ready to go. So let me back this thing up a little bit, and we will finish up this review, and I'll tell you all you need to know about it. I did promise you I would show you the charger, though. This is the charger, okay? This is the plug. It's going to go into these 50 amp input outputs on the side here. So we're going to put it over here. Whoops, wrong way. There we go. And you hear the charger starting up. You see that it's red. I'm going to back it up here a little bit. Let's move you back over. You can see we're getting 527 watts. It's now up to 13.3 volts at 40 amps, 39.61, which is what the charger is rated for. I think this could easily power pretty much anything I need it to out here. And in my house for emergencies, definitely would power a fridge. It doesn't shut off. That is one of the nice features about this. It doesn't go into that eco mode where it shuts off when the power shuts off. So for a fridge or freezer, definitely good deal. It does have a charger up top here. Let me lift you up for your wireless phones. And all the instructions and info are over here, but it does have a charger. You can put your phone up there and charge it. And the app is super, super simple to use. So let me back it up, and then we're going to finish up the review. So I am still topping it off. I want to get it to at least 13.8. But definitely, I'm really impressed with this little guy. It's quite a big guy, actually. It's rather large, and it's rather heavy. So I would suggest if you are going to put this in a vehicle that you mount it down with the mounts. It does come with mounts that mount on the side. You can drill it right into your floorboard if this is something you're going to be using in an RV. I would also suggest when you put it where you're going to put it in your home that you don't plan on moving it unless you decide to put it on a little base with wheels. Like I said, the thing does weigh, I believe it was 64 pounds. So, I mean, for a power station, that's pretty heavy. I'm used to be able to pick it up power stations, even my big EcoFlows, with one hand. My anchor's on wheels. My big anchor 767, that's on wheels, so I can roll that around. But it doesn't have anywhere near the capacity that this thing has. When you figure you've got something that will do 3,000 watts and then peak out at 6,000, for a peak, that's pretty darn impressive. And it can run, like I said, 3 different units in here. It's not just one plug. That's one of the reasons I like this a little bit better than the battery boxes, because it's all self-contained. There's nothing to worry about. Now, because it's not a battery box that's going to run you $300-400, it's a little more expensive. And the LiFePO4 batteries in here are really good quality batteries. So, as you see this configured, and I know this is going to knock some people out of their chairs, this is $1,465, okay? If you want the 300 amp hour battery inside, I have the 200. That will run you $1,580. But if you compare some of the other 3,000 watt power stations that are out there, you will find that this is much cheaper than what is being offered, especially with the 6,000 watt headroom. That's pretty darn impressive. So all in all, I got to say I'm pretty darn happy with the thing. I really do like it. I have been messing around with it now for a couple weeks and trying some ridiculously high drain devices, and it's seemed to perform well. So it's going to go live over there where my EcoFlow was, and the solar panel that you saw outside. I did move it over a little bit before we did the test. That's why we were getting 61 watts instead of 20. That's going to be added. I'm going to have a second panel added to that. I have another mount coming for it, and that will give me a little more juice coming in. But this will definitely be an awesome emergency backup system. And I've even started to kind of think about how I would run my channel if the power was out and I still had to do videos during an emergency. Well, I don't think I have to worry about anything with this guy here. They'll run everything out here, even the lights that you see. Now, I do have a $100 off coupon. It's Iridium 100. That will be down below. And again, if you order this, don't freak out if it takes a while to put together. These are hand-assembled units, okay? Don't freak out if you email the guy and he doesn't email you back for 2 weeks. He's busy. He's a one-man crew in there working his butt off trying to get these out to you. So I definitely want you guys to check it out, see what's going on with it, and enjoy it and get your most use out of it. Because I think something like this, even though it's expensive, is a whole lot more budget-friendly than, say, a 3,000-watt Blue Eddy or something. It's a whole lot less expensive than that. So definitely a neat little unit. Anyway, folks, the link for this will be down below. My $100 discount for it will be down below as well. So that would take your price for this particular unit to $1,365. And I know that's still a lot of money, but when you have that peace of mind, and like we saw, power outages are getting more and more occurring, more and more currently. We've had a bunch here in town over the beginning of the summer, little transformers blowing here and there. Only for 2 or 3 hours, 1 hour, 45 minutes, nothing huge and ridiculous, but still, it's happening a lot more. So definitely get yourself something, even if it's not this one, something to keep yourself up and running. All right, below that is our Amazon affiliate store. All right, I have pretty much everything that I review in the channel, I try to put in the store unless it's not there, like items like this. That will get you some awesome gear. And if you don't feel like buying any of that gear and you just want to shop on Amazon, click that link, save it, bookmark it, use it for when you shop. We really do appreciate when you do that. Helps us out a whole lot, bring you more cool gear to the channel. Our freeze-dried wholesalers link. I have another freeze-dried wholesaler video coming up by the end of this month. I want you guys to check it out. It's going to be making your own pre-canned in bell jars, meals ready to go that you just add hot water to. And he has everything back in stock almost. A few things here and there are out, but my link will save you 15%. Just clicking that link and shopping there, 15% off, and it's great food, 25-year shelf life. I love the stuff, and I use it in my everyday cooking as well. So definitely good stuff. Our My Patriot Supply link, that's preparewithiridium.com, preparewithiridium.com. It'll be down there. You can save $80 this month on a 4-week food kit. That's under $200 for 4 weeks worth of 25-year shelf life food ready for you to go when you need it. And below that is our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. Don't forget to check out Thrive, folks. It's really some really good, clean food. Those are the 3 companies I trust with my food supply for emergencies, and I hope you guys do too. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.